Welcome, and please be seated. I would like to call the 108th commencement of Pine Manor College to order. Please welcome President Thomas O'Reilly to the podium to begin the commencement proceedings.
Go Preds! In my youth, I learned about what was called the Golden Rule. Treat others as you would want to be treated. It began by looking at self. As I grew and matured, I learned there was a better rule, the Platinum Rule. Treat others as they would want to be treated. It is a higher calling. It is about others. And unsurprisingly, it's a key part of the culture of Pine Manor College. And so at this 108th commencement of Pine Manor College, it was with great pleasure that we say to all of you, welcome. That's English. Huan Ying, Chinese. Accueilli, Haitian Creole. Bem-vinda, Portuguese. Alanbica, Arabic. Benvenido, Spanish. Kumbaya, American Gullah. And in Boston, we say, how are ya? Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize some of our special guests here today. I'm going to ask that the trustees of Pine Manor College please stand. The trustees are the people who advise and help me in running the college. Thank you so much. Huge amounts of time and energy. Thank you. I'd like to ask the faculty and staff on stage and in the audience, please stand. These people do everything for our students. Thank you. To the parents, the friends, and the family, the caregivers of our graduates, please stand. You have meant so much in supporting them. Please stand. Thank you. Graduates, please stand. Thank you for making it this far. Thank you very much. Some special folks here tonight. We have some honorary degree recipients, and I'd like to welcome the friends and family of Melissa James. Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting. And I think the superintendent's here. Is the superintendent here today? Nora Baston, is she here tonight? Is Nora here? Where's Nora? Nora, thank you. Superintendent of the Bureau of Community Engagement for Boston. And for all the officers who are here today in support of the commissioner, thank you. Today we have some honorary degree recipients, and I'd just like to really thank them for being here. You know, we'll hear more about them shortly, but I want to introduce to you the renowned entrepreneur, CEO, diversity expert, and community leader, Melissa James. Melissa. And likewise, a critically important community builder, a creative and reflective thinker, a true agent of change, and the very first African-American police commissioner in the history of the city of Boston, Commissioner William Gross. Today we are gathered to recognize the achievements, the academic achievements of our students who have completed their course of study, who have proven that they are educated and capable, who are prepared to take meaningful steps in their lives, engaging in new jobs and careers, continuing to learn, and positively contributing to their communities. Now, a few of our students have some really exciting news. Sylvia Galdmez, Caroline DeBrito-Home, Mariah Suarez, Erin Epps, Quarren Porter, all have jobs before they leave today, so congratulations. Some of the folks we have here today, like our honorary degree recipients, are important to take note of. To quote Melissa James, in talking about her mission, we want to create a solution that is going to have a long-standing impact in our community. The building of community is what we expect of Pine Manor College graduates. This finding of solutions is what Pine Manor College graduates have been about and are prepared to do. So thank you, Melissa James, for being here. At Pine Manor College, our culture calls for the members of our community to take charge, to be leaders in the community building process. As Commissioner Gross has said, if you want change, you have to be the change. At Pine Manor College, we ask our students, our soon-to-be graduates, to recognize and draw on their abilities and strength, to find solutions, and to be the change that this world of ours so sorely needs. It is a big challenge, but you know something? You're up to it. You can do it. To all who have supported these young folks, all of you here today, those who couldn't make it but are in our thoughts, thank you. You've done really well because these folks are amazing. Thank you for doing that. To our students who are about to be graduates, I say thank you too. Thank you for having had the courage to believe in yourself. Thank you for having the commitment and the grit to get through college, the vision to know what you would do when you went through college, and the aspiration to believe in your future after college. You two have done very well. Congratulations. There was one of the world's most famous Latino, a fellow by the name of Cicero, lived about 2,000 years ago. And at that time, society was challenging the importance of a liberal education. What was this free-thinking education all about? And Cicero, in his defense of liberal arts education, said, these pursuits of education, these pursuits nourish youth, delight old age, embellish prosperity, and afford a refuge and a comfort in adversity. Always remember that. Your education is important because it gives you comfort, encouragement, and opportunity. Thank you so much. I'd like to welcome to the stage Dean Diane Mello-Goldner, Dean of the College.
Thank you, and congratulations to today's graduates. Today is my favorite day of the year. It has been an honor and a pleasure to preside over these commencement ceremonies for the past 5 years. Part of the Pine Manor College mission states that we hope students will find a home here at Pine Manor College. You cannot have a home without a family, and I hope that you all will consider the people on this stage and scattered in the audience who work here at Pine Manor College as part of your family. We are all so very proud that you are sitting here today, and you all have many, many different stories that we know so well. But also, please do plan to come back and visit us, because we're all going to miss you very much. And now, for the next part, we have a little change in plans. We're not going to have someone, our singer will not be singing the alma mater, and thankfully I will not be singing as well. But I'm going to ask the graduates to please join me in reading the alma mater along with me. If you turn to the inside, and others in the audience and on the stage can join us as well, please read along with me as we read the Pine Manor College alma mater. Alrighty. Ready? 1, 2, 3. To thee, alma mater, bring we now our homage. Joyously we, thy children, sing thy praise. Dear alma mater, draw thy scholars to thee. Graciously teach and lead us in thy way. Strengthen our faith and stir our hearts with kindness. Give us clear vision to honor truth always. Guide our endeavors to be worthy of thee. May thy renown grow greater day by day. May loyal hearts ever sing thy praise. Thank you. And now I would like to ask the Reverend Janine Daly, Vice President for Advancement and Alumni Relations, to come to the podium to give the invocation as we begin today's commencement.
Today is an incredible day, and we gather in celebration to give thanks. Let us all pray. Spirit of the living God, Creator of the universe, we thank you for this day of celebration. We thank you for the courage and the strength you have given every student to break barriers, overcome obstacles, and to push forward towards a destiny that will impact and change the world for the greater good. Give them the strength and the ability to embrace differences and to respect and love all humankind, to be a bright light in the world, illuminating love, compassion, unity, and peace. Creator of the universe, through your love and grace, we pray that you will bless each and every graduate and give them the patience and understanding as they encounter new experiences and opportunities in life. Bless them with a spirit of service and a desire to give back to their communities. Bless them with the courage and the power to remain hopeful, to dream big, to fear not, and to keep moving forward in this unpredictable journey called life. Finally, we pray for all the family members, friends, faculty, staff, and supporters as we share today in this special moment of joy, celebrating this great achievement. Amen.
Thank you, Janine. Now I am pleased to introduce Takia Brown, class of 2007, and health educator, to come to the podium and offer an alumni greeting.
Good morning, everybody. Distinguished faculty, staff, trustees, family, friends, and of course the graduating class of 2019, it is my great honor to address you all here today. When I was presented with the opportunity to speak with you, I was asked to reflect on my experience at Pine Manor College and how it has shaped me professionally and personally. From 2003 until 2007, I spent some of the most influential years of my life learning and growing on the grounds of this campus, from Halden Hall to the dorms in South, where I lived and worked as an RA. I came to Pine Manor as a young Black girl from Mattapan, the first in my family to go to college. I chose this school because I wanted to study among other young women that looked like me, who understood me and where I came from, and who I could grow with intellectually. Pine Manor's commitment to social responsibility and inclusive leadership was the cornerstone of my educational experience. My professors were truly invested in my ability to think critically and to become a responsible citizen where I would truly impact the society that I lived and worked in. This institution's values could not be more relevant at this given moment in our history for me professionally and personally. My career in public health has taken me to positions and organizations across the city, out of the state, and internationally. Early on in my professional career, when I was still a student here, I did 3 internships, even though the requirement was only 1, a little bit of an overachiever. The first 2 were at the Boston Women's Fund, which was a philanthropic agency The fund's mission was to award grants to develop programs that strengthen communities and help women and girls develop skills, confidence to organize, educate, and lead in their communities. It was a natural fit, considering the learning environment that had cultivated me here at Pine Manor as a sociology and political science major. While at the Boston Women's Fund, I wrote my senior thesis and did research on the importance of Black feminist theory and activism in society. To this day, there isn't a single job that I have had that doesn't address and center the experiences of Black women and seek to make those experiences better. My last internship was at Planned Parenthood. There I worked in the public affairs department. When an actual position opened up, I interviewed and got hired as a grassroots organizer. This was the job that opened my eyes to the world of public health. I worked on policy issues as they pertain to sexual and reproductive justice, again allowing me to apply all the things I had learned in my major in the real world. So all the group work, the PowerPoints, the public speaking presentations, no matter if you love them or hate them, are all things that you will definitely use in your professional life. You may all be sitting here today with your caps and gowns on, feeling full of ambition, anxiety, euphoria, a cluster of emotions that only come a few times in a life. I am here to tell you that you are ready, you are capable, and you are needed. I would like to share with you a quote by Audre Lorde that continues to inspire and guide me in my career today. When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid. The strengths you have gained through the mission of this college will carry you far, both personally and professionally. Pour those strengths into the service of your vision for your personal growth, for your career paths, for your communities as you move forward in the world. And be lit, of course. Hey!
Thank you, Takia, for those inspiring words. We are fortunate to have a second alumna speaking today. Eileen Cleary, a January 2019 graduate of our Solstice MFA program in creative writing, has written a poem specifically for the Pine Manor graduates of this year. I would like to ask Eileen to come to the podium to read her poem, which you can all find in the back cover of the commencement program.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here today, and congratulations to all the graduates. Accomplishment. This day's anniversary might find you holding your wrinkled newborn, watering a sapling, or carrying the coffin of a friend you've loved. You will hear "Remember Me" pass these paths from the dorms to your class. This morning, a nest releases its wax wing as the woods lean in to listen. You'll leave these pines quiet as the books you've read, having learned what matters past Pine Manor. May your good works ring luminous, your birdsong open windows in the sky.
Thank you, Eileen. We come now to the awarding of the honorary degrees. Pine Manor College is pleased to take this occasion each year to award honorary degrees to individuals in recognition of their outstanding achievements. Will Robert Utschneider, Chair of the Pine Manor College Board of Trustees, please escort Melissa James to the podium. And will Professor Joseph Fagnoli, Assistant Professor of Business and Management, please come to the podium and read her citation.
Thank you, Dean Melogola. Ms. Melissa James, born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts, is the founder and chief executive officer of the Tech Connection, the largest minority-owned and woman-run recruitment firm in the Northeast. The company's mission is to help companies make meaningful connections that empower and engage diverse talent by promoting inclusive hiring best practices. She is the daughter of immigrants and, like many of our students, was a first-generation college student and graduated with honors from the University of Massachusetts at Amherst. An entrepreneur is generally described as a person who is a risk taker, a problem solver, someone who recognizes an opportunity and fulfills a need. Melissa James recognized the lack of diversity in the hiring of technical talent by high technology companies and was determined to form a company that would address it. She founded the Tech Connection to recruit and place technical talent from the minority community. She differentiated the Tech Connection by assisting candidates with skill assessment, feedback on performance, and by providing an online portal for career development. To ensure that there would be network opportunities and to provide a platform for the impact of technology on the African American community, she applied her entrepreneurial skills and founded the Black Tech Boston Meetup. She is relentless in her commitment to community and diversity in the technology industry today and for generations to come through STEM education. During an interview in 2015, shortly after she founded the Tech Connection, she said, "We want to create a solution that is going to have a lasting impact on our community. And the way we see that is by bridging the gap between underrepresented technical talent and getting them into these tech companies." This is reflected in her company's mission and her passion for its success and recognized by the national and local awards she's received, including the U.S. Presidential Service Award, the UMass Distinguished Young Alumni Award, Bostonians 50 on Fire Award, the Mosaic Award from the Mass Technology Leadership Council, and the 2015 Pursuer Award from the African Youth Excellence Organization. Through her own career path and the commitment she demonstrates to advance equity and workplace equal opportunity, she is a reflection of the college's mission. Like Melissa James, we strive to help our students realize their abilities and gain the knowledge and skills to become key players and change agents in solving issues affecting our community. Pine Manor College is proud today to have her join our community with the award of this honorary degree.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for having me here today. To say that my
Before
story.
you speak, we have to get you a shawl.
Ooh, I love shawls. Let's do it.
All right. I get to speak before you do.
Go for
Just-
it.
Melissa James, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Melissa James, by virtue of the power of the authority of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, as vested in the Board of Trustees of Pine Manor College, and by them delegated to me, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, honors, and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Well, to say I'm excited would be an understatement, if you can tell. But to say that my story started when my family first got here to Boston just wouldn't be true. I wanted to be honest with you about the journey that my family took because I think it will resonate with all of you on the journey that you guys took. My story started when my grandmother first migrated here from Jamaica. It was back in 1970 when my grandmother came to America from Jamaica. She arrived in this country, the land of opportunity, with her mind filled with hopes and dreams. But she left behind what was in her heart, her 10 children who depended on her. She worked relentlessly for years at Children's Hospital, cleaning hospital rooms and saving every penny she had so that she could afford a plane ticket and a visa for each of her children. My grandmother was one of 2. Her sister passed away when she was just 18, and she wanted to make sure that none of my family ever felt alone. So when they migrated here to America, she made sure that each of her children came 2 by 2. As each of them began their journey to America, she made them promise all one thing. When you come here, don't be a bench warmer. And all of my aunts and uncles said, "What are you talking about? A bench warmer? What bench, and why would we be keeping it warm?" Clearly, this was something she had seen on TV, basketball players warming the bench and waiting for their opportunity to shine. My grandmother wasn't much into sports, but she could see the difference between the people that put in the work and the people that waited for their chance. Today, you have an opportunity to decide which type of player you will be. I can tell you already that you're far from being a bench warmer. Today, you've accomplished an amazing task. You've put in the time and energy and invested in yourself because you knew you were capable of doing something more. You knew you wanted to stand for something in this world. You wanted to let the world know that you were here. You were ready to leave your mark. When you saw an opportunity, you saw it through to the end. So be sure to celebrate today and enjoy the accomplishments that you've made, because this is only the beginning. And tomorrow is when the true test begins. Tomorrow marks the first day of your career. You'll go through ups and downs, you'll face the challenges, but you have already accomplished something that many people in their lifetimes may never have the opportunity to do. When I graduated, I thought I was on my way to law school. It was almost 9 years ago to this date. I was graduating from UMass Amherst, and I had spent the last 4 years tirelessly working to be the best law school applicant. I thought for sure there was nothing in this world that I would rather do. But if you recall, 2010 was a different economy that we were in. We were in the midst of a recession, and I sat there and I watched law school graduates begging to return their degree because they couldn't find a job. And as a first-generation college student, taking on $200,000 worth of debt without being able to find a job opportunity simply was not an option for me. I was scared that the dream that I so desperately wanted was now out of reach. I decided not to go to law school at that time, but instead to enroll as an AmeriCorps, giving free legal services in Brockton, focused on immigration and housing, as a way to wait out the recession. I thought in my mind, if I just wait 9 months, then all of a sudden the recession should be gone, and then I can be on my way to law school, back on track. That was naive, but instead it took years. The economy did not recover so quickly. Some might say it's still recovering, and I ultimately decided not to go to law school. Instead, I chose to go and work at an early stage startup, a spin out from MIT and Harvard, then later working for Google, and honestly, none of this was in my plan. None of this was exactly what I thought it would be, but I felt like I had to figure out my own definition of success and how I would measure it for myself. Because what I realized after I graduated, there just wasn't a set deadline. There wasn't a set graduation date. Instead, I had to come up with my own. So I had to change the way I thought about the things that I was doing. And over the last 9 years, I realized that there is no GPA in life. Instead, I needed to focus more on my new definition: the grit, the perseverance, and the ambition. When I talk about grit, I'm talking about the kind of grit that gets you through working 2 jobs while you go through college. I was the girl in the computer room, and once I finished my job working in the computer room, I would go to my second job working as an intern in the legal services office. My life was far from glamorous working 2 jobs, but I had no choice. It taught me how to manage my time and to hustle from one thing to another. And little did I know that hustling from one job to another would be a skill that would help me see a new light. In fact, I've almost always worked 2 jobs. I did it when I worked at an early stage startup. I did it while I worked at Google. I did it when I worked as an AmeriCorps, and I would do it again. It was always my second job that made me who I am. It was the fact that I had the grit that made me a better leader, that deepened my expertise, and helped me share all that I know with thousands of people. Along along with the amount of grit that came from my work, came the opportunity to practice my perseverance. When I started my business, many people might think, holy smokes, being CEO is so great. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want, and no one can tell you anything. And that is so far from the case. When I started my business, I was overwhelmed with the number of challenges that came each day. My most memorable moment when I was truly overwhelmed was when I signed my largest and first customer to date. It was an opportunity to make what I would have made in a year in just 3 weeks. I had no team, and it was just me, and I, again, was working more than just one job. I was the CEO, I was the recruiter, I was the admin, and I was the janitor, all in one day. I had a strict deadline for this customer, just 3 weeks to find over 300 candidates in Boston. If you don't know, that's extremely hard. I was working so hard that I legitimately had heart palpitations and was stressed out beyond belief. I'm sure my parents are not happy for me to share this story, but it is my truth. But I reminded myself that if I had the grit to get through college and through all my other jobs, I have the grit to get through this. This opportunity wouldn't have come to me if I couldn't get it done. And I also knew that my family had sacrificed so much for me that I had to make sure that I at least saw it through to the end and gave it my all. It was in that moment that grit and hustle helped propel me through it and helped me land 40 more customers just like this customer. To tell you all I needed was a quick pep talk with myself would be a lie. It crossed my mind several times when I was working till 9 o'clock at night and waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to just give up. It would have been so much easier to just say, I need a day off, or I want to go and enjoy the summer afternoon. But I decided in that moment that my grandmother had sacrificed too much for me to be mediocre. What if she too gave up? What if she too didn't think that it was worth it? Where would my family be? Where would I be? My grandma is the reason for my ambition. She is the one reason that makes all the stress and the heartache go away. She's a constant reminder of the power one woman can have. When a woman is filled with grit and perseverance and ambition, there isn't anything she can't do. And when I feel overwhelmed, I think if she could leave her heart behind while she hustled bringing my family here, then I can surely make it through the opportunity in front of me. I remember she is always with me, and that although I may stand in front of you as just one person, I actually stand for my 10,000 ancestors who believed in me and who knew that I would be here in one moment. She helped me see that even when things get hard, there's always something that you can learn from them. Life is filled with teachable moments, and it might not look like your school paper or your school exam. It might feel like you want to give up. You might feel like crying, but those are the teachable moments that make you who you are. I always ask myself, what can I learn from this opportunity? How can I take it? How can it help me be a better person? You've already chosen a road untraveled and sacrificed so much to get here. And as you continue on this journey, be sure to make sure every hour counts, because there are 24 hours in a day, and you have to be careful on how you choose to spend your time, as this choice will determine your level of success. As you embark on your journey, as a minority in a sea of professionals that might not look like you, you'll feel pressure to be perfect, pressure to feel and look a certain way, to talk a certain way. And I'm here to tell you that all of those pressures are real. I'm also here to remind you that that pressure makes diamonds, and you will shine no matter what. Thank you. Don't seek perfection, seek to be better than you were yesterday, and move towards your goals with confidence and strive for more. Be sure to ask your questions, be open to the new challenges and the new experiences, and ask for help, because your goal is to be known as more than just the person that simply gets things done. You want to be seen as a leader. To you, the graduating class of 2019, I charge you to make a promise to yourself, the same way my grandmother made her children and grandchildren make a promise to her to never be a bench warmer. I stand in front of you as the first person in my family to graduate from college, the first person in my family to work in a Fortune 500 company, and the CEO of a buzzing new startup. Many of these things were unfamiliar to me when I first started, but as I took one step, I always knew that I could be something more. I knew that my grandmother had sacrificed so much for me, and I owed it to her to take advantage of every opportunity set before me. Someone in your life has made a sacrifice for you, or maybe you are the first to make those sacrifices. So make sure that you honor that sacrifice and let the world know that you are here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Will Lise List, Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees, please escort Commissioner William Gross to the podium. And will Professor Kelly DeFeo, Assistant Professor of Sociology and Political Science, please come to the podium and read his citation.
Stay right here. Sure. Thank you. Commissioner William Gross is the 42nd Police Commissioner of the City of Boston and the first African American to hold that position. That's right. He has been serving the people of Boston for 36 years, beginning in 1983 when he graduated from the Boston Police Academy. He spent many years in his early career as a patrol officer. Rising quickly through the ranks, Commissioner Gross has always kept a close connection with members of the community he serves. He has demonstrated a relentless commitment to community work through various initiatives like the Youth Violence Strike Force and the Drug Control Unit. These and other initiatives, led by Commissioner Gross, continue to have a positive impact on the neighborhoods of many of our Pine Manor College students, over 25% of whom are graduates of the Boston Public Schools. At his swearing-in on August 6, 2018, Commissioner Gross proclaimed, "Delivering and building on our community policing model is one of my main priorities. We will work collaboratively to reduce crime and violence in our neighborhoods while supporting and lifting up our youth." He has been awarded numerous departmental awards for bravery and meritorious service and several governor's citations: the Martin Luther King Jr. Leadership Award, the United States Attorney's Boston Office's Award for Outstanding Dedicated Service to the Survivors of the Boston Marathon Bombing, the Department of Justice Investigative Achievement Award, and he was named one of Boston's 100 most influential people of color. Commissioner Gross is affiliated with groups that expand his advocacy beyond the city limits of Boston, such as the Massachusetts Major Cities Chiefs Association, and the Ancient and Honorable Artillery Company and the Tuskegee Airmen, Inc. of Eastern Massachusetts. He also sits on the advisory boards for the Boston Center for Youth and Families, the George Lewis Ruffin Society, and the Special Olympics of Massachusetts. Beyond his outstanding professional achievements, Commissioner Gross is known for his ability to foster relationships and to see the best in people. He firmly believes that if you want change, you have to be the change. That's right. These words have guided Commissioner Gross through a stellar career devoted to promoting equity and social justice for all in our communities. To that end, Commissioner Gross's actions and values align with those of the caring community of Pine Manor College. Pine Manor College is proud today to have him join our community with the award of this honorary degree.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hang on. Mr. President.
Hang on.
I'm not going for the speech yet.
Hang on. All right.
Thank you so much.
William G. Gross, give that back to me. William G. Gross, by virtue of the authority of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, as vested in the Board of Trustees of Pine Manor College, and by them delegated to me, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights, honors, and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
My brother. Thank you.
I'm so excited. Now, do you need your speech up here? Is your speech right here?
I don't know. Where did it go? I got it. I got it.
All right, give you that.
Let's hear it for the president. Woo! Thank you. I'm excited as you are to receive one of these. And you'll hear about that in a minute, trust me. It's an honor to be here today, folks. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'd like to say thank you to the president, Mr. Thomas O'Reilly, the Pine Manor College trustees. These are your family members, trust me. The faculty members, your family members, trust me. And speaking of family members, your friends and your family here, they're so proud of you. So let's hear it for the friends and families. Woo! And now your turn. Let's hear it for the class of 2019. Woo! All right, bear with me. Now it's time to get down to business. As I alluded to earlier, it's an honor to be here today and to share my story. Queen James, excellent. Queen James family, excellent. That's right. Let me tell you something, folks. I'm one of the most appreciative persons on earth. I come from very humble beginnings. I started out, believe it or not, being born in Hillsborough, Maryland, February 1st, 1964. A great decade of men and women that led the world for justice and equality, human rights and civil rights. And I was lucky to be in an atmosphere where I had plenty of time to learn because I was from a farming community. The first 11 and a half years of my life was on a pig farm in Hillsborough, Maryland. Population 164. That's it. Hot dog. I was raised by a lady that took my mother in. When I said family, it doesn't have to be your blood family. Family are people who care about you, whether you're blood or not. Family, they're there for you. And family are there with you when you want to shut up the haters. We're going to talk about that too. Right? Preach. On that farm, I was taught at an early age about empathy, sympathy, care, and respect. And though it takes a while to get there because you're young, you're learning, it was still instilled in me to do the right thing. And it was instilled in me as well, this is important, to know your history so you can know your self-worth. To know your history, to know how systems of government were built. Medicine, astrology, science, great thinkers come from all over the world where we should not have borders and walls, because I'm going to tell you right now, everybody in this world helped build this country. Thank you. I don't know if some folks in Washington are going to like that, but that's tough, right? So, that upbringing on a farm, a lady took my mother in and then sent her off and said, listen, there's really nothing for you here. You have to make a better life for your family. And my mother went to Baltimore and then to Boston. And Boston's a tough place. And she interacted with me. And unfortunately, till my grandma, I call her, Miss Rabina Fame, diabetes, glaucoma, we had to leave each other as she went to live with her family. And then I came to big bad Boston. Woo! Big old country boy. Yep. So I come to Boston in 1975 at the height of forced busing, racially tumultuous. Everybody's in their individual silos, and there was a lot of hate, especially if you were law enforcement, getting it from both sides. There was no trust between the neighborhoods of color or those suffering from poor socioeconomic strife to any police officers. We're going to get to that too. How does a kid from Hillsborough, Maryland, on a pig farm, 164 people in the town, get to be the Boston Police Commissioner. And before that, the Boston Police Chief of Police. How does that happen? There is no way I can stand before you and go like this or like that. This was me, this was me, this was me. I'm going to tell you what it took. It took the village. I don't care if some people think that that's a jaded moniker. It takes a village to raise a child, or saying, excuse me, but it's true. But what do you mean when it takes a village? My mother was in Boston with my older sister, myself, my younger sister. I'd never seen my father. Single parent mother, but I was raised by my parents. The parents are the community. The parents are your extended family, that even though they're not your blood, they care about you. You have that family right here in Pine Manor. I don't know if you folks up there know the history about Pine Manor. Deep, deep history and caring. And they stick with you. Some places you graduate, see you later. Thanks for the check. Pine Manor will be with you. You've heard the testimonials from folks sitting right here before you. That's what you need on your side as you go forward in your journey, is you need your family. Because there will be trials, there will be tribulations, but your family will always be here for you. And today I'm proud to be a member of that family, so I'm here for you too. Again, single parent mother raised by the community though. Imagine growing up in an environment of forced busing, racially tumultuous, and telling someone in the hood you wanted to be a police officer. Woo! But that's okay. Remember I talked about knowing your history and knowing your self-worth? I knew my history. I know we all began in Africa. I know we're all God's children, so you sure as hell can't tell me what to do. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it, because my ancestors, your ancestors, all of our ancestors that fought for justice and equality said you can do it. You earned it. You earned the right to do it, so go ahead. So I did. Even though some people did not agree with me, when I was a teenager, I graduated from Boston Technical High School in 1982 and was on the Boston Police Department in 1983. Let's talk about some voices now. The voices of hate, the voices of you can't do that, or the voices that say, that's not for you, that's just for them. We don't want to listen to those voices. I didn't. I heard them, but I didn't listen. Think about that, that's deep. Because voices and words can hurt you. Voices and words can cause you doubt. Voices and words can stop you from what you want to be and just halt your progress. And we all know about haters. Tell me you don't. We all know about haters. That's when you need your friends and your families. But that's when you need to know as well your self-worth. You are meant to be somebody. You are kings and queens. Let that settle in. You are kings and queens. You will overcome anyone that doubts you, anyone that's trying to lead you the wrong way. Because usually those folks don't have what you have. They don't have support. They don't have structure. They don't have the ability to, as the Queen said, learn from teachable moments. Learn. Be willing to be mentored. Be willing to be guided. You have that for you. That's why you'll shut up the haters, which you've already done today. You'll shut up the haters as you move forward as well. You have to realize that people are very, very proud of you. We're extremely proud of you. You, as I go out in my job on a daily basis, you are giving me, I'll use a cop term, ammo. Ammo to shut up the haters when it comes to negative stereotypical views and perceptions about who you are, what you look like, your gender, your choices in life. when I can tell them you don't know what you're talking about. Oftentimes, for folks your age, people are talking about you, for you, over you, and telling you what you think, and here's what they should do, without actually getting to know you and listening to your voice. Listening to your voice. This is what your family's here for. We're here to tell people you do have a voice, and this class of 2019 is gonna rock it out there. You are. Woo! Let me tell you something else that we want from you. Of course, we know you're gonna be successful. We know you're gonna go ahead and make changes. If you want change, be the change. Don't let anyone hold you back. But we have an ask of you. If you look before you, there are children in the audience today, younger than you, young children. What if no one took interest in me? I could have been a drug dealer. I could have been a gangster. I could have been a victim of human trafficking, abuse, but someone took an interest and said, that's not going to happen here. Someone took an interest and said, there are bigger and better things. Someone took an interest and had, listen to this, they had a vision for me when I couldn't even see it. That's what you have to do going forward. When I was a young black man in the neighborhood, if you had ever asked me if I'd be the first African-American chief of police and subsequently the first African-American commissioner, I would have said no. Unobtainable goal, brick ceiling. But people didn't let me keep that attitude. Even on the police department, which, trust me, had its challenges, so keep going. So all I'm saying is people have a vision for you when you can't see it. And then when you get it, like today, you graduate, you get it, it's your job to pass that forward because there will people will be coming behind you. You make sure that you help them see the vision. You make sure that you help them overcome doubt and hate. I am glad to pay it forward. I have a prime example seated right there. There she is. Superintendent Nora Bastian, can you please stand up? Woo! Thank you. I love embarrassing her. Let me tell you about that young lady. Growing up tough, she had doubters and haters. She lost her mother at an early age, but her family made sure that she saw it through. From high school to college, and then being a black woman on the Boston Police Department, challenges. I always tell the truth, it is what it is. She had challenges, but she had people that had her back. This woman has been on the Boston Police Command staff for 11 plus years. And when I made it to these lofty heights and not on my own, the mayor let me create the Bureau of Community Engagement so that we could pay it forward, that I could pay it forward through my sister, who I promoted to superintendent, the highest ranking woman on the Boston Police Department, and only 4 women to hold it, that position in the history of the Boston Police Department. And that's since 1630. One of the leaders in the nation in community policing. About to wrap it up, but that last word I just said, community, that's us. That last word, us, that is all of us. It is the village. I just want you graduates to know, Pine Manor, class of 2019, that you will make this village bigger and better. You will go forward. You will be the change. Because now, you know that you have people that have your back. That anything that comes your way will be there for you. And I want you to be successful. I want to bring my past to my retirement. I want to sit on the porch and drink my moonshine from Maryland and eat lobster and chowder from Boston. I want to be comfortable, and I'm going to be comfortable in knowing that the class of 2019 are the greatest. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's hear it for them. So proud of them. Woo! Oh, can't forget that. Thank you. Thanks, Nora.
Thank you. So those are 4 inspiring speeches for all of you, and I hope one day that some of you are going to be back giving those inspiring speeches to the future graduates. Your accomplishments that we celebrate today would not have been possible without the dedication and commitment practiced by our Board of Trustees, our alumni, our faculty, our administration, and our staff. To recognize them, I'd like to now announce several awards that were given out at Achievement Day to recognize our faculty and staff. The Ruth Allinger Gibson Class of 1926 Teaching Award recognizes excellence in teaching and calls attention to the importance that our college places on the learning-teaching interface. The award is given as a result of student nominations and votes. Although she is not here today, not able to be here today, I'd like to have you all join me in recognizing this year's Gibson Teaching Award winner, Rebecca Mitchell, Associate Professor of Mathematics. Also selected by student nominations and votes, the Pam Palmer Award for Excellence in Mentoring and Support of Student Success honors a faculty or a staff member whose students feel provides support across all areas of their life and helps them reach their full potential. I'm very happy to announce this year's recipient of this award, who's probably standing in the back. Maybe she can wave to us all. Associate Dean of Academic Affairs, Melissa Yaffe. The Lindsay Fellowship is awarded annually to an untenured faculty member to recognize outstanding performance and to encourage scholarly promise. It is the gift of John and the late Sarah Houston Lindsay, class of 1943. This fellowship allows a one-semester sabbatical leave from teaching and academic duties. I am pleased to announce that the Lindsay Fellowship for next year has been awarded to Kelly DeFeo, Assistant Professor of Sociology and Political Science. And now the final award has not been announced prior to today, so this is a surprise. The Rosario Tosiello Award for Integrity in Scholarship was established in 2003 in memory of Professor Bob Tosiello and recognizes a member of the full-time faculty whose professional work demonstrates the principles and social responsibility characterized by the research and writing of Professor Tosiello. I am pleased to announce that this year's recipient is Assistant Professor of English, Shelley Linzo. Please stand and be recognized. I would also like to recognize that yesterday the Board of Trustees voted to grant tenure to one of our faculty members. Will Associate Professor of English, Hannah Baker-Ceroti, please stand and be recognized. I knew she was going to stand up right away. Now I'm pleased to introduce another inspiring speech by this year's senior class speaker, Caroline DeBrito. Caroline, please come to the podium to give your speech.
Graduates, it is an honor to be standing here today representing all of you. It is also an honor to welcome our community together today. Families, friends, faculty, and staff, This is a journey we have all taken together. What I see right now is a clear picture of the support network that was necessary for all of us to be up on this stage today. Thank you for your sacrifice and encouragement. Together, we're going to do great things. I was raised in Itaúsu, a small city in Brazil. And when I say small, I mean 9,000 people small. So I guess you can imagine what it felt like when a few months before I turned 15 years old, I had to move to Boston with my mom. That was one of the hardest things that I had to do in my life. The culture shock was almost more than I could handle. I could barely speak English. I didn't know anyone that I could trust, and to be honest, I just wanted to go back home. I had to grow up from day to night. We moved during school vacation, and being by myself all day while my mom was at work worsened my depression. Eventually, she had to start taking me with her because she couldn't handle leaving me alone anymore. Around that time, I read an article that said that researchers believe that babies feel pain during birth. A few months after moving here, I remember sitting in the car with my mom after a long day at work and telling her that now I could perfectly understand the pain of being born. I had to relearn how to talk, how to walk, how to think. I had to learn an entirely new culture, and that can be exhausting and extremely uncomfortable. However, being uncomfortable can also push you to be more than you thought you were capable of. I started high school in 2008, and during my first year, all my classes were adapted to ESL students. 4 years later, I graduated as a magna cum laude. I was really proud of myself, and at the same time, I was now facing another breaking point in my life. As an immigrant, college seemed impossible for me. I refused to let myself even think about it because I couldn't handle the disappointment of not going to college like my classmates. At the end of the day, the harsh reality was that my family and I couldn't afford it at that time. So I decided to take a gap year. Once I finished high school, I started working with my mom on her cleaning business, and even though I didn't like it, I got too comfortable. The issue was that my gap year turned into a 3-year gap, and I started feeling depressed and scared of what my life was going to be like. As much as I wanted to pursue my education, and I knew that I had a family that would support me whenever I was ready, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Elizabeth Freeman. She was one of my mom's clients at the time, and she saw in me the potential that I forgot that I had. Elizabeth was responsible for making me feel uncomfortable again. She took as her personal mission to find me a college that would help me grow, and I was skeptical that that college existed. I doubted that there was a college out there that would accept me and that wouldn't create a financial burden for my family. Elizabeth proved me wrong. After doing her research and reaching her connections, she brought me straight to Manor College. And before I could even think twice, I was officially a first-year student. There I was again, out of my comfort zone, and the journey was just starting. Now that I'm about to leave, I can look back and take in all that I learned over the past 4 years. I couldn't have done it without the support that Manor promptly offered me from day one. I have learned so much from my professors inside and outside the classroom, and I've met people that changed my way to see the world and broadened my vision. During my freshman year, I had the pleasure of meeting people like Professor Linzo. Besides being responsible for reminding me of how much I love literature and writing, she also inspired me to be aware of my feelings, thoughts, and environment. She looked at my work with high standards, and she made me see that I can always do better, and I should be proud of it. I worked hard during my time here, and I got grades that made my mom proud. Hi, Mom. And because of my academic excellence, I even had the honor to become a member of the Alpha Chi National College Society. I was lucky enough to take a lot more from my education. I learned about the beauty of diversity, and I felt accepted as being part of the minority, a lesbian immigrant woman. I learned that nowadays we need to be lifelong learners and flexibility is a must. Thank you, Professor Fergnoli, for never giving up on us. I also learned that we need to stand up for ourselves, for our community, and for the things that we believe in. Thank you, Professor Norton Russell, for being an example of courage and determination. I also learned that your attitude and confidence are as important as all the skills you gain. Thank you, President O'Reilly, for all of the last-minute advice. I would also like to thank my wife for being my rock and being able to put a smile on my face when I went home overwhelmed by papers and projects due on the same day. And my mom for cheering with every single achievement and for sacrificing herself to get me through college. I love you both. Outside of Manor College, the world can be a very scary place, but I'm prepared to feel uncomfortable again. Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. It's now my pleasure to announce 4 awards in recognition of some of the outstanding achievements by our graduating students. With a class as strong as the class of 2019, choosing 4 is never an easy thing. The first award is the Manor College Faculty Award, which is given to a full-time student graduating with a Bachelor of Arts degree with the highest grade point average upon completion of her or his academic work at Manor College. Would Caroline DeBrito please come back up to the podium to receive your award? The Exemplary Achievement Award was established in memory of Jane French McCall Dill, a member of the class of 1939 and a former trustee of the college. It is awarded to a student who combines outstanding values and leadership with excellence in academic achievement. Will Aaliyah Lottie please come to the podium and receive this award? To present our next award, will Dr. Stacy Weber, Dean of Student Affairs, now come to the podium.
The Manor College Award is given to a graduating senior who has, in the opinion of the faculty and staff, made an outstanding contribution to the college and to his or her peers. I am proud to present the Manor College Award to Nadia Obisi. Please come to the podium. For the final award, I ask President O'Reilly to please come to the podium.
The most prestigious award of the college is the President's Cup. And the President's Cup is bestowed on that student of the graduating class who, in the recognition of the faculty and the staff, has demonstrated an unusual combination of outstanding citizenship, academic achievement, and a deep concern for the best interests of the college throughout one's years at Pine Manor College. Now, this is an important position because it has really two critically important responsibilities. One is to stay connected with your class, to make sure that the graduates of Pine Manor College become active alumni of Pine Manor College. That is critically important because that's the village the commissioner spoke about. That's the community that will have not only your back, but the back of all who come after you. The second thing is everybody who is here, myself included, when we went to college, there were others that helped us. There were people that gave their time, their talent, and their treasure. As a matter of fact, if you want to be associated with Pine Manor College, if you want to be a trustee of Pine Manor College, you have to give your time, your talent, and your treasure. And so we asked the President's Cup Award winner to take leadership in meeting and greeting your fellow alums and asking them to make a commitment, make a time commitment, make a talent commitment, and to make a financial commitment to Pine Manor College so that the next generation can have what they need to be successful. So we ask a small thing on the financial front, $20.19 to represent the year of your graduation. If you can, if you will, help the next generation by being a part of this. This President's Cup is the one that sets the tone for the class. And for only the second time in the history of the college, this award is going to a man, and it's Hakeem Duncan.
I feel like I have to zip this down to say this. Honest. Your idea at the time. Honestly, I'm elated. I don't know. I'm speechless.
The first time.
For the first time, I'm actually speechless. I honestly didn't know I was getting that award. I honestly don't think I deserve it, but obviously I think I do. I just want to say thank you guys for everything. Thank you for giving me this award, and thank you for an amazing 4 years.
Thank you. Congratulations. We're going to get your name engraved on it, and then we hang this, put this in the President's office all the time. All right. Many photographs are going to be taken today, if there haven't been enough taken already. But before we award the graduates with their degrees, which is the big reason why we're here, I'd like to ask the Commissioner and Melissa James to come forward in front of the podium. And then I'm going to ask all of the students, marshals, to help lead the students to the podium so we can get one big photograph of everybody. Because if I wait until after we give them the degrees, we'll never get the photographs. And I'm going to ask the Dean of the College to come up with me as well. passing. All right. This is where we do what we're here to do. Would each degree candidate for associate and bachelor degrees please stand? All of you, please stand. Class of 2019. Members of the class of 2019, having completed all requirements for these degrees, based on the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, as vested in the Pine Manor College Board of Trustees and delegated to me, I confer upon you the degree of Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Bachelor of Arts, in recognition whereof, and now award you with these diplomas. Congratulations. Dean Mello Goldner, please read the names of the graduates.
This is also a time where a lot of people will say to please hold your applause until the end of the names. I say cheer as loud and as long as you want for each one of them. They deserve it. All right, here we go. Vanessa Ahrens, magna cum laude. Rashid Bell. Kingsley Calix. Aaron Shawan Epps. Kelvin Chico. Jose Corrales. Caroline de Blitu, summa cum laude. Hakeem Duncan, cum laude. Brenda Fuentes. Sylvia Galdames. Christina Genta, cum laude. Rafael Iran Baez, magna cum laude. Ariel Rayana Harrell. Robert Spesh Harrison. Taylor Ingram Martin. Aaliyah Leilani Lottie, cum laude. Truk Lamb. Michaela McDonald, summa cum laude. Kayla McDougall, cum laude. Elisangela Mendez. Adrian Montalongo. Nadia Obisi, cum laude. Edwin Osias. Rudeline Pierre Toussaint. Corin Porter. Ellis Reed, cum laude. Mariah Suarez. Stacy Taylor. Summa cum laude. Lamitza Vaz. And Ethan. Jordan Zoki. Okay. Oh, retake. Graduates, everybody stand up. All the graduates stand up. To acknowledge receipt of your degree diplomas, please move the tassel on the right to the left side. You are now graduates of Pine Manor College. Graduates, now turn and face the audience. And with applause, indicate your appreciation and support of them. And will Dr. William Stargard, College Marshal, please come to the podium to complete the commencement ceremony?
Please be seated. We now invite all of you to join our graduates for a reception in the gymnasium, and that's a change of location. While we've been having a lot of fun in here today, it's been a little bit wet outside. We're not going to have the reception outside on the lawn. We're going to have it in the gymnasium. When you leave Ellsworth, go down the steps, It's to the left, and the gymnasium is straight ahead. We'll have the reception in there. Shuttles will also be available to transport people to the parking lots. As you leave the theater, please exit Ellsworth or move to the side corridors adjoining the central lobby to allow for people to exit the theater. Finally, and I really do emphasize this, please remain seated while the platform party, trustees, faculty, and graduates recess. The 108th commencement of Manor College is hereby officially concluded.